It's a bright and sunny day at my end, so it's not cold as usual, and that makes it exciting for me. And I hope it's very cool at your end too. So to today's conversation, earlier today I was discussing with someone and we were talking about the marriage environment, and they began to share about what they believed were the major issues of the seemingly volatile marriage environment. And as I shared, what I heard them say was basically discussing the symptoms and not the sources. So what do I mean by that? Imagine if someone has a typhoid fever and they keep treating maybe like a headache, which is one of the symptoms of a typhoid fever, by taking a first aid, maybe a Tylenol or paracetamol, whatever is applicable in your region. Now the headache will keep calming down, but the main issue, which is the typhoid fever, will be deteriorating. So it's important that we address issues from the root cause and not the symptoms. So consistent argument, impatience, lack of trust, they are all symptoms. But what exactly are the sources of conflict or sources of whatever is it that's making the marriage environment seem troubled in recent times? And I dare say that it's always been there. Maybe social media brought things to fore more than ever before. So the first thing I will be sharing is the lack of understanding of marriage. I see, or in my years of, counseling, I see people really who had gone to the altar to say, I do, but they have no idea what they did. It's important for us to understand that marriage is not a sprint. Marriage is not an event. Marriage is not a day occasion. Marriage is a process. It's a journey. It's a marathon that will test your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual fitness. So your preparedness is very key, if you understand what you are signing up for. It's important that we all understand what we are signing up for when we say I do. So again, what did you do when you said I do? The lack of understanding of marriage is one of the key problems. The second is poor or zero preparation for marriage. People get married assuming that when they get to the bridge, they will cross it. Is it not the bridge you get to that you will cross? It's important that we understand that, if marriage is truly destiny, if who you choose will determine how you respond, the kind of children we will raise, and the value you will have to your society, then it is worth preparing for. Preparation involves you reading books, attending seminars, attending conferences, intentionally get a professional marriage coach or counselor towards your marriage. Now, people say things like, especially people of faith, we have a counseling unit in our church. I understand. But see, if the counseling unit in your church does not have the requisite knowledge and the tools required to equip you for the journey, then please get a professional marriage counselor. Marriage counseling realigns your expectation. It reevaluates a conviction. It is not even until you're about to get married that you do premarital counseling. I bet you need it long before you even say yes. But basically is that, marriage is worth preparing for. And if one of the major issues that I've seen in marriages is people do not prepare for marriage. The last but not the least that I will share in this particular video is unrealistic expectations of marriage. And I'll say this because personally, when I got married, I assumed that every night, like I've seen in Holly, Bolly, and Nolly, and anything wood, is that every night I'm going to lay on my husband's chest when I go to bed. But I think within the first week, I realized that is either I injure my arm or his, or I reevaluate that expectation, right? And that is just, on a lighter note. But there are many other unrealistic expectations that people come into marriage with, and these expectations are followed by, depending on unhealthy success or unhealthy sources for your marriage success. It's important that we all have, model our marriage not after people's results, but their processes, their patterns and principles. And if we don't do this, we will continue to model and expect something that is unavailable or might not happen, and then we get dissatisfied with what we have. I hope with these few points that I've shared, you've been able to see one or two things that you need to pay attention to premaritally, or even if you're already married, and maybe the things you need to address in your marriage so that you can make your own marriage a thriving and a fulfilling one. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.